Hare Krishna. Once again, welcome everyone who are able to join us on Zoom today, and all the devotees who are here in person, and the devotees who are joining us through Facebook also. So we welcome you all. So today we are going to cover chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita. So we started chapter 18. We did first section of chapter 18 in the last session. So chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita is the conclusion. Okay, and we talked about in chapter 2 also. Chapter 2 also is called Contents of Gita Summarized. And chapter 18 is also another sense summary or as conclusion. Okay, so the difference is in the beginning of the book there is index, the table of contents. So that is chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna is talking about the different topics which are going to be covered in detail in Bhagavad Gita. And chapter 18 is the summary, the conclusion. Like at the end of the book there is a conclusion chapter. And we talked about that we'll discuss chapter 18 flow by using acronym SMILE. So everybody please smile. Okay, so the acronym for chapter 18 is SMILE. S is the summary of Karma Yoga. Okay, because again it starts with Arjuna's question, what is better? Renunciation is better or Tyag is better? Sacrificing, out of sacrifice and renunciation, what is better? Okay, it starts with Arjuna's question. So Krishna again summarizes the whole principle of Karma Yoga. And then M is the modes of material nature, which Krishna talk about the worker in 3 modes, the knowledge in 3 modes, action in 3 modes, determination in 3 modes, happiness in 3 modes, understanding in 3 modes. Okay, so that is the modes of nature. And then I is the ideal worker. Ideal worker is Krishna is speaking about the principle of Varnashram Dharma. Okay, what is the difference in Asuri Varnashram versus Devi Varnashram? That one should do one's duty based on their psychophysical nature. It's better to perform one's own duty even though with faults, rather than trying to perform somebody else's work, even though you may try to do that with perfection in the beginning. Okay. And then L is love of God, where Krishna is summarizing the ultimate confidential knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is to develop love of God. And then the E is the end result. Okay, what is the end result of hearing Bhagavad Gita, by reading Bhagavad Gita, by speaking Bhagavad Gita to others? So what is the result one can obtain? Okay, so that is end result. Okay, so we are going to cover, we already covered S, M and I in the last session. So that section of chapter 18. So today we will be focusing on L, love of God, and E, end result. Okay, so we are going to conclude Bhagavad Gita today. Our whatever, maybe few months we have been talking chapter by chapter Bhagavad Gita. So we'll conclude that today. So we'll start with invocation prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so we talked about the Varnashram system in the last session, the 4 Varnas and 4 Ashrama. So one should try to act based on their psychophysical nature, their Varna and their Ashrama. And Krishna is telling Arjuna that it is better that one engages in one's own occupational duty rather than trying to imitate somebody else's work. Why Krishna is telling Arjuna that principle? Because Arjuna was proposing that thing, right? He wanted to give up his Kshatriya and he wanted to go to the forest and live like a sannyasi. So he wanted to give up his Grihastha Dharma and adopt to Sannyasa Dharma. He wanted to give up his Kshatriya Dharma and live like a Brahmana. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that rather than performing somebody else's duty, it's better to perform your own occupational duty. Even though there may be challenges, even though there may be some troubles, but it's better to perform one's own duty. Why? Because now Arjuna is telling, I will give up my Kshatriya Dharma, better I will go live on begging. But then, under certain other circumstances, you will be triggered to fight. If somebody comes and attacks on you in the forest, so you will take your weapon and kill that person. So why don't you kill now, right? While performing your occupational duty. So after speaking about this principle of Varnashram Dharma, ideal worker is not that you give up your duties, but you give up the result of your action. So what is better between Tyag and Sannyas? Krishna says Tyag is better. Okay, Sannyas means giving up the activity also. Tyag means you do your duty, but you don't get attached to the result. Okay, so that is the difference between Tyag and Sannyas. So Krishna is again and again speaking this principle in 3rd chapter, 5th chapter, and now Krishna is summarizing that. So ideal worker is acts as per his own Varna and Ashrama, but without getting attached to the result of one's action. Now moving into the next section of this chapter, which is L, love of Godhead. Now Krishna is going to speak this most confidential knowledge that ultimate goal is to develop love for the Supreme Lord. How one can understand the Supreme Lord? That is only possible by bhakti. Okay, so text 55, Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschashmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato gyatva vishate tadanantaram. So one can understand me in tattva, tato ma tattvato gyatva. Okay? So one can understand me in tattva as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How? Bhakti. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only my devotee can understand me in tattva as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Okay? So then one can really attain to the spiritual world, the supreme destination. So Krishna is not saying by karma yoga you can understand me in tattva and you can attain to my spiritual world. Krishna is not saying by jnana yoga you can understand me in tattva and attain to my spiritual world. Krishna is not saying you can understand me by ashtanga yoga and attain to my spiritual world. How? Specifically Krishna is saying bhaktya. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. By bhakti I can be understood completely. And then further Krishna says, therefore you should engage in the activities while constantly remembering me. Sarva karmani api sada kurvano madvyapsharaya mat prasadat avapnoti shashvatam padam avyayam. So though engaged in all kind of activities, sarva karmani api, even though you are doing your worldly duties, you are engaging in all sort of your worldly activities, sada kurvano madvyapsharaya, do those activities while remembering me, under my protection. Okay, mad vyapashraya. So mat prasadat, in that way one will attain to my eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. Mad prasadat. So we cannot attain to Krishna, even bhakti, right? When we talk about bhakti also we ultimately attain by prasad, Krishna's prasad, right? By Krishna's grace. We cannot get bhakti by any other endeavor. In Srimad Bhagavatam there are so many descriptions, so many shlokas are there which speak about one cannot get bhakti by some karma kanda, one cannot get bhakti by performing some rituals, one cannot get bhakti by doing some other yagyas, homas, by performing some austerities, or by giving charity, or by one's own scholarship, studies. So we cannot get bhakti by our own endeavors. We can get bhakti by Krishna's grace. So because of Krishna we get devotees, and because of devotees then we get Krishna. Okay, so it's a cycle. Because of Krishna we come in association of devotees, and then by staying in association of devotees we understand Krishna in essence. So Krishna is saying, engage in all your activities, do your all activities under my protection, and with my grace then you will attain to my eternal imperishable abode. Chetasah sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhi yogam upashritya matchittah satatam bhava. So matchittah satatam bhava, always be full conscious of me. Matchittah. You know where this word was earlier used? Okay. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita. So in there also Krishna says, Mat chitta mat gata prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushanti cha ramanti cha. So my devotees are always thinking of me. Mat chitta. So here also Krishna is saying, Mat chitta satatam bhava. Bhava, become. Satatam, always. Mat chitta. So always remember me. So in all activities just depend on me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be always conscious of me. So again and again Krishna is emphasizing, you don't have to give up. It's not that you have to give up your family, you have to give up your occupation to become a devotee, to progress in spiritual life. You can progress in spiritual life while doing your occupational duty, while staying with your family. The only thing we need to do is switch off our consciousness. And that switch of consciousness is become attached to Krishna. Always think of Krishna. Always stay under the protection of Krishna. Matchitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi atah chetvam ahankaran na shroshyasi vinakshasi. So if you become conscious of me, matchitta, what will happen? So first Krishna says, always become conscious of me. Now, what is the result of that? If you all think of Krishna always. If you always think of me, if you become conscious of me, sarva durgani, you will be able to pass over all the obstacles. Mat prasadat tarishyasi. Again, mat prasadat. by my grace, by my mercy, you will be able to pass over all the obstacles of life. Sarva durgani tarishyasi. How? Mat prasadat. Just yesterday's Bhagavatam, this verse also, what was that? By just even chanting the holy name of the Lord, all the obstacles are removed. Okay? So when we think of Krishna, when we chant the holy name, all the obstacles can be removed. So Krishna is saying, Mat chittah sarva durgani tarishyasi, mat prasadat. So when you are always thinking of me, by my mercy, all your obstacles are removed. Now, otherwise what happens? If you are not thinking of Krishna, you are doing all your activities by your own endeavor, by depending on yourself, by depending on your own strength, by depending on your own intelligence. Then what happens? So Krishna says, if you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Vinakshasi. Okay, so no matter what you do in this world, by depending on yourself, with your own strength, because of your own false ego, it does not give success. Ultimately, it will be a destruction. But if we remember Krishna, we can accomplish difficult tasks also. We can accomplish challenging tasks also. We can surpass the biggest problems also. So, Krishna is indirectly telling Arjuna that, okay, you do not want to fight. You want to act based on your own intelligence because of your own false ego. If you act based on your own false ego, giving up this fight, it will not lead to any good result. But if you engage in your responsibility and your duty, under my protection, by always thinking of me, you will be able to surpass all obstacles. And so same applies to us also. It's not just for Arjuna, it applies to us also. Under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction. But compelled by work born of your own nature, you will act all the same, O son of Kunti. So this is a summary which I already mentioned. So Krishna is telling, you are declining to act according to my direction, because Krishna has been telling Arjuna now, Uttishta Bharata, get up and fight. So if you do not act as per my direction and you give up this duty, later on you will be compelled to work by your own nature, which is as a Kshatriya. So better you do your duty now. Now this is very important verse. Okay, text 61. This is, in some sense, it's similar to what was spoken in 15th chapter also. Again, the summary of that. In 15th chapter, Krishna says, Sarvasya cham hridya shanivishto. I am situated in everybody's heart. Mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha. From me comes knowledge, remembrance and forgetfulness. On similar lines here, what Krishna is saying, Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hrideshe arjunah tishtati brahmyan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everybody's heart. Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hrideshe arjunah tishtati. So the Supreme Lord is situated in everybody's heart and is directing the wandering of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. So yantra rudhani mayaya. So yantra arudha. Okay, so yantra means machine. Arudha means to climb on that, to sit on that. Ratha arudha. Right? We say Ratha arudha. Sitting on a chariot. So yantra arudha, sitting on a machine. So this body is a machine and the living entity is sitting in this body. Where it is sitting? In the core of the heart. So the living entity is situated in the core of the heart, and the super soul is also situated in the core of the heart. Hrideshe. And the living entity occupying this body is performing various activities, wandering in this material world, performing various activities, and the Supreme Lord sitting in the heart is directing the wanderings. He is witnessing the activities and is sanctioning based on their what they deserve. So updrashta anumantacha. So that is the activity of the Supreme Lord. And we are all performing various activities. As in 15th chapter, Krishna had mentioned that in one life form we develop particular type of conception of life. And based on the conception we develop in one lifetime, we get another life. And because of particular conception developed, we get a particular set of eyes, ears, nose. And again we continue our activities based on that conception of life. For example, because of the challenges of this life, he is having too many problems with relationships, even with parents maybe, and the child start thinking, better I wish to be alone. So Krishna says, whatever conception of life you develop, you can get that situation in next life, right? We are wandering into next lifetimes. So in next lifetime, the child may lose his parents very early, or he may be born in a certain situation where he has nobody to take care. Or somebody is thinking, dog's life is so good. Dog is enjoying at the house of the master. He is sitting on the sofa, master is feeding him nicely. Dog's life is so good. Krishna says, whatever conception of life you develop, you may get that in the next life.
No need to study.
Right? No need to study. Somebody may think, dog's life is so good.
You become dog.
He is enjoying everything and don't have to go to school also. So, see, these verses, if we really think deeply, it's a great message behind that, right? So, Krishna is very clearly saying, in one lifetime, we develop different conception of life, and then we keep wandering into various species of life based on our conceptions developed. This lifetime, somebody may have a conception, I am too much troubled with my spouse. Next life, that person may not even get a spouse. He wants to get married, but he doesn't get a spouse. So, all these are the different conceptions. So, here Krishna says, I am situated in everybody's heart. Or in third person, Krishna is saying, the Supreme Lord is situated in everybody's heart and directing the wandering of the living entity who is seated on a machine. So, this body is as a machine. So, Krishna has summarized many concepts here within this verse. Okay, that we are not the body, we are the soul. We are occupying this machine in the form of this body. And now, Krishna says, I have explained to you this confidential knowledge. Now I will explain to you even more confidential. Iti te jnanam akyatam guhyat guhyataram maya. So I have explained to you this knowledge, which is still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully. And then, yatha ichchasi tatha kuru. You do as you like. You do what you like. So that is the beauty of Krishna, right? That is speciality of Krishna. After speaking all that, all the 18 chapters, now Krishna is not telling, अरे भैया इतना दिमाग खराब किया तुम्हारे ऊपर, 2 घंटे लगाए तुम्हारे ऊपर, अब तो जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ वो करो. Krishna is not saying, okay, now do what I am saying. I spent so much time on you. So Krishna is saying, yatha ichchasi tatha kuru. You do as you like. Now we cannot practice that, honestly speaking. If we start practicing that, you do as you like, then nobody will come for service. Right? If the temple manager starts speaking that, okay, come morning Bhagavatam class, Sunday feast class, but do what you like. We have to tell very specifically, Are Baba, please chant 16 mala. Okay, come do some practical service. Otherwise, who will take care of Govindas? Right? Who will cook Sunday feast? So, Krishna can take this liberty that, okay, now you do what you like. Even though we are followers of Krishna, but we have to be very specific because common sense is not very common these days. And so we have to tell very specifically to the dot. Krishna is telling, do what you like. And now finally Krishna summarizes in 2 verses before Krishna stops speaking. Okay, so the 2 concluding statements of Krishna. Krishna had packed this knowledge in 9th chapter also. The last verse of 9th chapter. Krishna has already given this philosophy, this principle there also. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame veshasi satyam te pratijane priyovasi me. So manmana, always think of me, engage your mind in me. Manmana bhava madbhakto, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, pay obeisances to me. Sometimes people say, भगवान ने कहाँ बोला है मेरी पूजा करो? Anywhere Krishna has told, worship me? Yes. Here, 934 also Krishna, the first line is exact same, word to word. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. That part is word to word same. So 2 times Krishna has spoken in Bhagavad Gita, madhyaji, worship me. And then the foolish people will come and challenge. अरे भगवान ने कहीं बोला है कि मेरी पूजा करो? Why you guys worship? ये सब आरती करना, ये सब करना, कहाँ बोला भगवान ने मुझे करो? Yes, Krishna has spoken this. Krishna is saying, engage your mind in thinking of me, become my devotee, worship me. Mam namaskuru, pay obeisances unto me. And why? Why is Krishna asking that? Is Krishna some egoistic God? That he is thinking, he is saying, oh, you do this for me. Krishna is telling this for our benefit. Because when we take shelter of Krishna, when we engage our consciousness in Krishna, when we remember Krishna, what is the benefit we get? Krishna already spoken that. Right? You will be able to surpass all the obstacles. And you will be able to attain me without any problem. So, Krishna here also is saying, if you do that, what will happen? Then you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my dear friend. Priyovasi me. Because you are very dear to me. So I am telling you this, I am making a promise to you. And then finally, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma shuchah. Abandon all varieties of religion. Sarva dharman parityajya. So after abandoning all varieties of religion, what you do? Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Take my shelter exclusively. Mam ekam. Krishna is not saying Mam eva sharanam vraja. Mera bhi sharan le lo. Krishna is saying Mam ekam. Akele mera sharan lo. So what is the meaning of here? Sarva dharman parityajya. Abandon all religions, all varieties of religion. How to understand this? What is the purpose of Krishna's appearance in this world? Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. I come here to establish dharma. Now Krishna is saying Sarva dharman parityajya. Abandon all dharma. Isn't it contradicting? So what Krishna is telling here, Sarva dharman parityajya, because we have many dharmas. Not Hindu dharma, Christian dharma, Islam dharma and all. What dharma Krishna is talking about? What is the root definition of dharma? Okay, dharma is to follow the words of Krishna. But what is dharma?
To serve.
To serve. Duty. Right? To do our particular duty. That is dharma. Like the duty of sugar is to give sweetness. Duty of water is to quench thirst. So duty of human being is to serve. And we serve in many different capacities. So we have Putra Dharma, Pita Dharma, we have Shishya Dharma, we have Desha Dharma, Kul Dharma. So we have so many these different dharmas, different duties. Okay, so we have duties towards our family, our parents, our children, our spouse, our nation, our society. So that is what Krishna is telling. Sarva dharman parityajya. Give up all other responsibilities, other obligations. And take my exclusive shelter. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. So you do your activities by taking shelter of me. Don't just go towards that duty first. First take my shelter. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. After taking my shelter, then you do your other duties. Because that is then the perfection. If you are rejecting your most important duty, which is to take shelter of Krishna, we will not be able to fulfill other duties also properly. So Krishna is saying, you first take my shelter, fulfill that duty, your Sanatan Dharma. This Sanatan Dharma word is very popular, right? People will say Sanatan Dharma, Sanatan Dharma, Hamara Sanatan Dharma hai. What is the meaning of Sanatan Dharma? Sanatan means eternal. Dharma means duty. So what is our eternal duty? Our eternal duty is to serve Krishna. Okay, so that is our topmost dharma. So Krishna says, first follow your topmost dharma, Sanatan Dharma, taking my shelter, and then you worry about other dharmas in this world. Because otherwise you will not be able to fulfill your other dharma properly. And when you take my shelter, what will happen? Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I will relieve you from all sinful reaction. Mokshaishyami. And I will liberate you. Ma shucha. Do not worry. So Krishna has the capacity that Krishna can relieve us from all the sinful reaction. So we have prarabdha karma, aprarabdha karma. What is the difference in prarabdha and aprarabdha karma?
Which is fructified and which is not fructified.
So prarabdha means whatever is fructified. Aprarabdha means which is in a seed form yet, which has not fructified. Basically, you get $10,000 deposit in your bank account. Out of that $10,000 deposit, you have withdrawn $500 deposit to use as for your expenditures. So that out of your salary of $10,000, $500 is your prarabdha, which you have withdrawn. $9,500 is still in a deposit form. Okay, that is your aprarabdha. So same way, whatever our karmic reaction is, out of that bank balance of karmic reaction, whatever we have got in this life, in this current situation, that is prarabdha, which has fructified yet. And the remaining is still deposited in your bank, which is going to come later. That is aprarabdha. So Krishna can destroy prarabdha and aprarabdha. So first thing Krishna destroys is aprarabdha, which is stored in your bank balance. Krishna immediately destroys all that aprarabdha. Prarabdha, still sometime we go through. Okay? Whatever is already manifested, we have to continue with that. So it's not that now I have taken birth, my life duration is whatever 50, 60, 70, 80 years. It's not that Krishna is going to destroy all of that sudden and okay, come back to me. So we have to go through that. But Krishna has the capacity, Krishna can destroy all the sinful reaction. And the example we can understand is from the past time when Krishna was in the Gurukul, Sandipani Muni's Gurukul. After Krishna finished his studies, Krishna wanted to give Guru Dakshina. Right? And as Guru Dakshina, what was asked? To bring the dead sons of Sandipani Muni back. So Sandipani Muni's son had gone to ocean to take bath. And from there he disappeared. He was swallowed by the ocean. So Krishna's responsibility or the activity as a Guru Dakshina was to find the son of Sandipani Muni and bring him back. So Krishna went to the ocean from where this son had lost. And then ultimately searching him, Krishna went to Yampuri. And as Krishna went to Yampuri, blow his conch shell, Yamaraj came to receive Krishna at the door. at the door of Yampuri. And Krishna said, my Guru's son has come here. So please bring him back to me. I need to take him back. Did Yamaraj say, he just came. He has not finished his sinful reaction karma. He need to go through all that. Once he is done, then I will give him back to you. So immediately he brought that son back to him. And what is Krishna saying? Okay, put all this karma in my account. Okay. Basically, whatever goes in Krishna's account means it vanishes. Okay, it's gone. So Krishna is like a big fire which consumes all the fuel supply which is given to it. So immediately, that son of Sandipani Muni who had arrived in Yampuri, Krishna took him and brought him back. So that is the classic pastime which demonstrate this particular principle. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I will relieve you from all your sinful reaction. I will deliver you. Do not worry. So all we need to do is take shelter of Krishna. We go through so much of mental troubles. We're thinking about so many different situations of life. Loss, gain, life, death, honor, dishonor. But all these things actually not really in our hands. And during all these situations, when we face these situations in life, if we remember Krishna in that and say, okay, Krishna, whatever is your desire, we can become peaceful in that situation. So, Janam Mrityu. No, I'm not talking about that verse. I'm saying these 6 things which are not in our control. So, Janam Mrityu Labh Hani Yash Apayash. ये सब विधि हाथ. Okay, so these 6 things are not in our control. Birth, death, labh hani, gain and loss, yash apayash, honor and dishonor. These are not really in our control. Okay, it's not that I am hankering for more gain or I am hankering for more yash, it will come. Somebody who is not hankering for yash, Krishna can give them more fame. Right? Somebody who is not looking for gain, Krishna can give them everything. So when these situations comes in life, if we just remember Krishna always in those situations and take shelter of Krishna, we can be saved from all those hankerings and lamentations. Otherwise, these are the hankering and lamentation which are always going on. A classical example, we are searching for homes, and when you are putting an offer to some home, if you don't get, you think, then there is lamentation. Lamentation or hankering is, अरे $10,000 ज़्यादा डाल दिया होता तो शायद मिल जाता. Right? Somebody else got that. मैंने थोड़ा सा offer थोड़ा ज़्यादा डाल दिया तो शायद मिल जाता. When you get it, then you are maybe lamenting. अरे इतना ज़्यादा offer देने का क्या ज़रूरत है? 10,000 कम भी देता तब भी शायद मिल जाता. So I'm telling you first-hand experience. Okay. So always this hankering and lamentation goes on and on and on. अगर मिल जाए तो हम सोचते हैं अरे इतना मेहनत करने की क्या जरूरत है, थोड़ा कम भी करता तब भी मिल जाता शायद. अगर नहीं मिलता तो बोलते हैं थोड़ा सा और मेहनत कर लेता तो शायद मिल जाता. So all these things continue, keep going on and on. And so giving up our own endeavor, if we can take shelter of Krishna, that will simplify our life. That will put us at ease. Okay. So after telling this, now Krishna is concluding. So we already talked about love of God. Okay, so all these set of verses, Krishna is saying, attach your mind to me, always think of me, always remember me. In that way, you will come to me. Now the end result. Okay, what Krishna is telling, what is the benefit of listening to this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavad Gita, giving this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to others. Okay, the end result of gaining this knowledge. Ya idam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu abhidyasyati bhaktim mai param kritva mam evashyasi asamshayah. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, Ya idam paramam guhyam. So who explains this supreme secret to the devotees? Pure devotional service is guaranteed. Bhaktim mai param kritva. And at the end he will come back to me. So I'm very selfish. Okay, I'm doing it for my own selfish agenda. Because so we can say devotees are selfish in one sense, right? Preaching is we are doing it for our benefit, because Krishna is telling, if you tell this supreme secret to others, you will get pure bhakti. Pure bhakti is guaranteed. And at the end you will come to me. So, but it's not just the selfish agenda of the one who is speaking. One who is listening, who is reading, they also get the same benefit. Okay? So this is the shortcut way to get bhakti, to give this knowledge to others. But we cannot give the knowledge to others unless you yourself read that and understand that. Because unless you yourself read and understand, how can you give that knowledge to others? Speaking is still easy. I will say speaking is still easy. पढ़ के सुन के रट्टा लगा के आपने 1 घंटा लगातार बोल भी दिया. Now at the end they will ask questions. Okay, so if you do not understand, how are you going to answer the questions? And if you are not able to answer the questions, those will run away. They will lose their faith. They will lose their trust. So we need to understand this knowledge. And it's not a matter of reading it once. It's not a matter of hearing it once. More you read about it, more you hear about it, better your understanding. Every time you read here, your understanding matures. New secrets are revealed. So Krishna is saying, there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he. Who he? One who is giving this knowledge to others, who is sharing this knowledge with others. So there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he. Nor will there ever be one more dear. Okay? And yesterday in Bhagavatam class I was telling, in Navada Bhakti, we hear about Sakhyam. So Arjuna was in a Sakhyam relationship. But how do we exhibit Sakhyam with Krishna? So by preaching, we show Sakhyam towards Krishna. Why? Because then in that relationship we are helping Krishna to reclaim all those lost children of Krishna. So if your child is lost, somebody finds that child and bring it back to you, you will be very friendly towards that person, right? Right? So same way, the preacher, whoever are sharing this knowledge with others, what are they doing? They are bringing those children of Krishna which are gone away from Krishna, bringing them back to Krishna. So preaching activity is showing as a Sakhyam relationship with Krishna. And preaching simply doesn't mean giving classes. Even somebody giving book to others, going and telling somebody, oh, take this book, read Bhagavad Gita, that is also preaching. Inviting somebody to come and attend satsang program, that is also preaching. Everybody plays their role. So Krishna says, somebody who is sharing this knowledge with others is very dear to me. There is nobody more dear to me than him, and nobody ever will be more dear to me. And I declare that now, who are hearing or who are reading. So Krishna is talking about them also. So Krishna says, now I declare that who studies this sacred conversation of ours, he is worshipping me by his intelligence. Okay? So studying Bhagavad Gita means we are worshipping Krishna using our intelligence. Worshipping Krishna is not just simply offering arati. Worshipping Krishna is by reading Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavatam also is worshipping Krishna. Worshipping by our intelligence. Now it doesn't mean stop doing arati and say that okay, I'm reading Bhagavad Gita, so what is the use, what is the need of offering arati? Because that is also archanam. Okay, that is also part of Navda Bhakti. Archanam. We need to do that also. So Shravanam is there, Archanam is there. We need to do all 9 limbs. In Kali Yuga, all 9 need to be done. So, but here Krishna is saying somebody who worships or who studies this Bhagavad Gita, they are worshipping me with their intelligence, and one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from all the sinful reaction and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwells. Okay, so speaking about Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavad Gita, hearing Bhagavad Gita, all are important and all are giving that result. But the condition Krishna has told one, not simply listening. Listening with faith and without envy. Okay? So those 2 conditions are there. Because sometimes people listen, but they do not have faith. And they are listening, but in a challenging spirit or envious mentality. Somebody may be listening, right? In Sunday feast, there are so many people come and listen, and somebody may think, hey, this person is speaking, I can speak better than him. So that kind of mentality, if we keep that sort of mentality, this is a new person. Who asked him to give class? Why they asked him to give class? So whoever is giving class, we should show respect and listen to them with respect, not with a envious mindset. So Krishna is saying somebody who listens with faith without envy, they become free from the sinful reaction and attain to the auspicious planets where the pious dwells. Now, after telling all this, Krishna is asking Arjuna, so have you heard attentively? Because Krishna is saying somebody who listens attentively, he will get this result. So have you heard attentively? All your doubts are gone now or no? If not, tell me, I am ready to speak again. So after speaking for whatever 1.5 hours, Krishna is telling Arjuna, okay, did you hear attentively? Or your mind was going here and there? Did you understand? Are your doubts gone? So this Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavad Gita, keeping Bhagavad Gita at home is very important. But there are some people, when you are distributing Bhagavad Gita, many people tell their stories. They encounter certain people who will say, no, we don't want to keep Bhagavad Gita at home. This picture of the war is shown on the Bhagavad Gita. We don't want to keep Bhagavad Gita at home. Otherwise, it will cause fight at home. Otherwise, घर पे महाभारत हो जाएगा.
ऐसा बोलने वाले लोग भी हैं.
Yeah.
Especially
They say, we don't want to keep Bhagavad Gita और महाभारत at home because घर पे महाभारत हो जाएगा. जैसे कि जो लोग घर पे महाभारत भगवद गीता नहीं रखते हैं, who are follower of other culture, उनके घर पे महाभारत नहीं हो रहा है already. What is happening in the world all around? You say Ukraine, Russia, Israel, all these places now, Afghanistan, Pakistan. What is happening? Everywhere fight is going on, everywhere war is going on. Did they keep Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata at their home? No. And the people, even Hindus who are not keeping Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or Mahabharata at their home, is there no fight in their families, in their homes? So actually, by keeping Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata at home, it will help to avoid fights. Right? It will help to escape from all these fights, the misunderstandings, all these quarrels which are happening, the relationship problems people have. So the importance of reading, hearing and speaking Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has spoken, and Krishna asked Arjuna, is your illusion gone now? And what is Arjuna's response? And Krishna had already told Arjuna Yatha ichchasi tatha kuru. I have spoken this knowledge to you, now you do as you like. Right? If you want to fight, you fight. If you don't want to fight, you don't fight. I'm not going to force you. You do as you like. And when finally Krishna asked Arjuna, is your doubts cleared? What is Arjuna telling? Nashto moha, my illusion is now gone. Okay. Illusion is gone. Now then what happened next? Smritir labdhava, my intelligence or my memory is regained. My intelligence is restored now. So my illusion is gone. My memory is restored. Intelligence is restored. Tvat prasadat me achyuta. By your mercy. So by your mercy, now I have regained my memory. My illusion is gone. Sthito asmi. Now I have become stable. Gat sandeha. All my doubts are gone. Karashye vachanam tava. I will do what you say. Karashye vachanam tava. So sometime while preaching it happens that people start demanding. Arjuna told Krishna, Karashye vachanam tava. I will do what you say. So you should also tell me same thing. Karashye vachanam tava. That I will do what you say. So it's not that Krishna told Arjuna, right? You do what I say. Arjuna voluntarily told, I will do what you say. But people start demanding sometime. You tell me now, you will do what I say. So Arjuna said, my illusion is gone after hearing Bhagavad Gita. My memory is restored. My intelligence is restored. My doubts are gone. I am ready to act as per your instructions. So this is pretty much end of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, in one sense, Bhagavad Gita is done here. The discussion between Arjuna and Krishna. The last 5 verses are spoken by Sanjay. Because between Krishna and Arjuna, Krishna-Arjuna Samvad is done. Sanjay Dhritarashtra Samvad is still going on. It started with Sanjay Dhritarashtra Samvad. Dhritarashtra asked, Kurukshetre, Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre, Mamaka Pandava ka Samaveta Yuyutsava. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsava, Mamaka Pandavascha Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. So it started with Dhritarashtra's question. So it is ending with Sanjay's reply. Okay, Sanjay's final reply. So what is Sanjay's final reply? So Sanjay said, now I have told you all the conversation which happened between 2 great souls. Okay, between Krishna and Arjuna. And so wonderful is this message that my hair is standing on the end. Sanjay is feeling ecstasy. Because Sanjay was able to hear everything. And Sanjay is able to see also what is going on there on the battlefield. Okay, he was able to see the universal form of Krishna also. And he was trying to explain that universal form to Dhritarashtra. Sanjay is speaking, repeating the words of Krishna and Arjuna to Dhritarashtra. So Sanjay was very ecstatic. Sanjay had a transformation of heart. Arjuna heard Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna had a transformation of heart. Dhritarashtra also heard that same Bhagavad Gita. But Dhritarashtra still did not have any transformation of heart. Sanjay is saying, my hairs are standing on end. It was such a wonderful conversation. And by the mercy of Vyasa, I was able to hear this talk between the master of all mystic, Yogeshwara Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. And now, what are the final words of Sanjay? The final verse of Bhagavad Gita, Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mamaha. Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishna, wherever there is the master of all mystic Krishna. Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, and wherever there is the supreme archer Arjuna. Tatra, there, what all becomes manifested, what all becomes present there? Shri, the opulences. Vijay, victory. Bhutir, Bhutir Dhruva, and all the extraordinary power. Okay? Nitir, morality. Matir Mama, that is my opinion. So Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra that wherever Krishna is present, wherever Arjuna is present, all these things are going to be definitely there. Opulences, victory, morality, the supreme power. So in one sense, Sanjay is again telling the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, of this war of Kurukshetra. Because Krishna is present, Arjuna is present, they are going to win. Okay, you have no chance. Your sons have no chance. Because in the beginning one may say that okay, war had already started. It was the 10th day of the war when Sanjay started speaking this Bhagavad Gita to Dhritarashtra. It was a replay. It was not as a live telecast. It was a replay, recorded session Sanjay is playing to Dhritarashtra. Do you know that or no? No? Okay. So, what happened in the beginning is, before the war started, Dhritarashtra was given this option. Okay, that you can have a live telecast, whatever is happening in Kurukshetra. And Dhritarashtra says, I have been blind all my life and now this war is happening, I don't want to see that also. And Vyasadeva told, okay, I am giving this power to Sanjay, and through Sanjay you can know whenever you want to know something. And Sanjay told, I can tell you the live telecast, because Vyasadeva first offered that divine vision to Dhritarashtra. So Dhritarashtra did not accept that divine vision, that I was blind all life and now I don't want to see. So Vyasadeva gave the divine vision to Sanjay, that okay, you don't want to see, at least you can hear. Sanjay can give you the live telecast commentary. Dhritarashtra said, no, I don't want to hear that also. I know I'm going to win. I'm fully confident. Because Bhishma Pitama is on our side, and who can defeat Bhishma Pitama? So I'm going to win. I don't need to hear anything. So Sanjay said, okay, if you ever need me, call me. I'm going home. So Sanjay went. After 9 days war, 10th day Bhishma Pitama fell on the bed of arrows. And the news came to Dhritarashtra. Okay, so the news came to Dhritarashtra, Bhishma Pitama has fallen. Now Dhritarashtra became very curious. Okay, now Dhritarashtra became upset. I was fully confident Bhishma Pitama is there, nobody can kill him. My victory is certain. So now he called Sanjay, bring Sanjay immediately. Where is Sanjay? Call him. So Sanjay came, and now Dhritarashtra asked, Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. So then he started asking Sanjay, what happened in Kurukshetra, where my sons and sons of Pandu had assembled with the desire to fight? And then Sanjay is giving the repeat telecast of what had happened from the beginning. So this whole discussion of Bhagavad Gita, which happened at the first day before the war started, so Sanjay is now telling Dhritarashtra. Okay, and at the end, now it's 10th day of the war still. Right, war ended at 18th day, but Sanjay is giving the conclusion that you have no chance. Wherever Krishna is there, Arjuna is there, victory is certain. Okay, and he repeated whole this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to Dhritarashtra, but Dhritarashtra still did not had any change of heart. He did not even say that okay, whatever has happened so far happened, let's go and stop this war now. Ab tak jitna destruction hua, jitne log mare gaye, at least now let's stop. But still, he was still having that hope. Maybe something will happen and my sons will win. Okay, so this war continued. Now Bhagavad Gita, what is the overall message of Bhagavad Gita? We can say the Bhagavad Gita can transform somebody's life. Right? It can give us real purpose of life. It can change our whole way of thinking, way of seeing our life. And the first chapter, Arjuna had given many questions or many concerns why he doesn't want to fight. One of the concern was that I have to kill my relatives, it will cause sinful reaction, Because Arjuna was thinking at the level of moral principles. Okay? And sometimes this dilemma is there, choosing between two good. Choosing between good and bad is very easy. Right? We know, okay, what is good, what is bad, okay, I need to choose the good one. But choosing between two good is very difficult. So Arjuna had this ethical crisis. He was choosing morality. Morality is, I need to protect my family members. I don't want to fight with my family members. So that was, he was talking at the moral principles. But Arjuna was not speaking or not making decision at ethical level. Ethical level means Krishna is telling you need to punish who has done any harm or who has abandoned dharma. You need to punish them. Even though that may be your own family member. You need to punish them. Just like a judge. If the judge's son is brought to him, he has committed some crime and judge's son is brought to him, and judge start thinking, how can I punish my own son? I want to protect my son. Then judge is not doing his ethical duty. Right? Ethical duty is, he is sitting on the seat of judge and he need to give the judgment. He need to, even though it may be his own son or any other family member. So Arjuna had that ethical crisis. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to make decisions in life. Okay? When there is some conflict, when there is some confusion, to make the right decisions. And so we are doing the overall summary because the chapter 18th is the conclusion, the summary. So in Bhagavad Gita, the 5 topics are discussed. What are the 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita? Ishvara, Jiva,
Soul, super soul,
Karma,
and
Kal, Prakriti. Okay, so these are the 5 topics in nutshell. Jiva, the living entity. That's from where Bhagavad Gita starts. You are not the body, you are the spirit soul. Dehino asmin yatha dehe komaram yovanam jara. So we are not the body, we are the spirit soul. And then Ishvara. Okay, Sarvasya Cham Hridesha Nivishto. Krishna says, I am seated in everybody's heart. Matta sarvam pravartate. Everything comes from me. So Krishna says there is the living and the supreme Lord who is the controller of everything, who is the proprietor of everything. Karma. Krishna spoke about the principle of karma. That based on our particular karma, we get a particular type of body. Kala. Okay, the time factor. With time everything changes and Krishna says, I am time. Kalo asmi. And Prakriti, Krishna spoke in detail about Prakriti, the material nature. What is this material nature? What are the 3 modes of material nature? And we are performing many activities under the influence of these 3 modes. And then after speaking these 5 topics in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke about different yoga system also, which is how to connect the living entity with the super soul, with the Supreme Lord. Okay, the various method by which the living entity can get connected with the Supreme Lord. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so Krishna spoke about various yoga system. So that is what is overall covered in Bhagavad Gita. The overall theme is Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana. Sambandha means understanding the relation of the living entity with the Supreme Lord. That is Sambandha. Abhideya means the process how to connect the living entity with the Supreme Lord. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. And out of those, Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. So Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. Prayojana means the ultimate goal. What is the ultimate goal? Krishna says you will come back to me. That is the ultimate goal. Okay, developing the love of God. That is the ultimate goal. So 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita. Remember that always. The 3 main themes of Bhagavad Gita. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. Now, in summary, when we start this 7-session series, in 7-session series we start with Search of Happiness. Okay, the journey of self-discovery course when we do. There are 7 topics we cover and we start with Search of Happiness. Everybody is looking for happiness in this world, but we are looking for that happiness in the wrong place. We are looking for that happiness through sense enjoyment, okay, through the object of senses. If I eat something nice, if I watch something nice, if I hear something nice, if I go to some nice tourist place. So we are looking for happiness through our sense enjoyment, which is temporary, which is limited. But the real happiness is when we connect ourselves with the Supreme Lord. Real happiness is in service. Okay, so that is the first topic, search for happiness. Then second topic we take is, who am I? Okay, in the journey of self-discovery, the second topic we take is, who am I? So who am I? I am not the body, I am the spirit soul. So we talk about the concept of soul. We talk about the concept of reincarnation. Okay, this body, this life is not all in all. After this life, after this body, there is another body. So who am I? Not the body, but the spirit soul. This body is just a dress. This body is just a machine. Then the third topic we take is, does God exist? Okay, so does God exist? So anything we observe in this nature, through that we can conclude that there is somebody who is controlling this. For every need, there is fulfillment in this nature. Everything is working so systematically in this nature. It means something should be there who is controlling this. So does God exist? Yes, God exists. Then the question comes, who is God? Because people come to this understanding that yes, okay, somebody is there who is managing this, but who is God? Because the confusion comes, who is God? There are 33 koti Devi Devata, there are so many Devi Devata. Who is God? Is everybody equal? And we conclude, Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Mai Sarvam Idam Protam Sutre Manigana Eva. Okay, I am the Supreme Lord who is maintaining everything. Everything is resting upon me as the pearls are strung on a thread. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti mattva bhajante maam buddha bhava samanvitah. I am the Supreme Lord, I am the Supreme Creator, I am the Supreme Maintainer. Who knows me in this way, he worships me. So Krishna is the Supreme Lord. But then another question may come, if Krishna is the Lord, why did Krishna made so many Devi Devatas? Why to cause so much confusion? Why did Krishna create all these Devi Devata in first place? What is the answer? Departments. Okay. But in Christianity they say God is alone sufficient to do everything. In Hinduism, God is not powerful enough, he needs other people to support him. So what is the reason Krishna created these Devi Devatas?
Because there are the different people with the different moods.
Okay.
For them. To raise them in service.
Engage them in service. Okay. So let's take one example and then we'll understand it from that point. Why did Lord create all these Devi Devatas? So let's take one scenario, one example from Ramayana. Why did Lord Ram build the Ram Setu? Why did Lord Ram build the Ram Setu? To engage the Vanaras in his service. It's not that Lord Ram built Rama Setu to go to Lanka. Lord who came as Vaman Dev, with his one step, he measured the whole universe. Just to go cross one ocean, he has to build a Ram Setu. He could have gone to Lanka anyways. So he did not build Rama Setu just to go to Lanka, to make a source for him to go to Lanka, but he built Rama Setu to give service to all the Vanaras. To engage all the Vanaras in the service. So same way, the Lord, he does not need anybody to manage this world. But all these Devi Devatas, they are also devotees of the Lord. And they are looking for some service. And Krishna says, okay, I need to run this material world and you are asking for service, so I will give you some service. I will give you one department, you manage this affair. So to engage all of them in service, Krishna has created all these Devi Devatas who are also the devotees of the Lord. Like we go to temple, and in the temple we ask, right, give some service, right, give us some service. So engage us in some way so we can. So same way, all these Devi Devatas, they are the devotees of the Lord, and Lord gives them some service. And Lord does not interfere in the management of this universal affair, and He just gives the service to the Devi Devatas. Okay, you manage this. And the confusion that when people say, if Krishna did not make all these Devi Devatas, then there will be no confusion. Actually, there was no confusion in scriptures. It is very clear that all these Devi Devatas, they are the devotees of the Lord. They are the different administrators. They are the different family members of the Lord's big family. From where this confusion came? When the Britishers and the Mughals, when they came to Bharat, this confusion was created by them. See, in the Western world, there is no concept of joint family. Okay? There is no concept of a big family. It's nuclear families. Only husband, wife, son, children. There is no concept of big family living together. And when they came to India, in India it was the concept of a big family.
Whole village is family.
Whole village is one family, right? Dada, Dadi, their 10 children, their 10 children, each person. So Chacha, Chachi, Taya, Tai, father, mother, Dada, Dadi, and their children, their cousins, everybody living together as one big combined family. So when somebody is living in that big combined family, for the family member, is there confusion? Who is my Chacha? Who is my Chachi? Who is Taya? Who is Tai? For the family member himself, there is no confusion. But somebody comes from outside, for him it's a big confusion. अरे भाई कौन इसमें कौन क्या है? The same way, all these 33 Koti Devi Devata, they are one big family of the Lord. They all have relation with Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Father of everybody. All are His children who are in different relation with Krishna, doing different service. But when these Britishers, the Mughals came, they created all this confusion. Arey, why all these? Should one God? Is one God not enough? Why He needs so many different assistants to run the affairs of this world? So they created the confusion. They created confusion in our scriptures. And we also started doubting. So originally, if we read the scriptures carefully, there is no confusion. It's very clear. The problem is we ourselves do not read. We just hear something from here and there and we make our opinion. So, who is God? Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Why there are so many Devi Devatas? We know they are all servants of Krishna. Akela Ishwara Krishna or Sabhritya. All others are the servants of the Lord. And then we talk in the 7-session series, the next topic comes is, why do good things happen to bad people? Or bad things happen to good people? Okay, the concept of karma. Okay, so the concept of karma, sometimes we see somebody is very nasty person, but they are enjoying. But somebody is very good person and they are suffering. It happens, right? We see that kind of things. And people question, why does that happen? Ultimately, it's all based on our karma. Somebody has lot of bad karma, but little bit good karma. And when their decision is made, okay, should we send this person to hell first to suffer or give him the reward of his little good? And the decision is given, let him enjoy a little bit first. Uske baad to eternity he has to suffer in the hell. So we see sometimes the person is really bad person, nasty person, but he's enjoying. Because he is reaping the result of his little bit, whatever good is there. Ultimately after that he is going to rot in the hell. And somebody who has done lot of good activities in the previous life and this life, he is suffering. Why? Because Krishna is saying, okay, let him just exhaust his little bit sinful also. After that, let him enjoy his good karma. And sometimes it happens also in the Yamaraj assembly, they are asked also. See, you have two choices. Either you can go enjoy first and suffer a little bit reaction first. And they will say, let us suffer a little bit, whatever, after that we'll go and enjoy. So they come to exhaust their bad karma and then they are going to enjoy. Why we are confused about when we see these things? Because we do not understand this philosophy. We do not understand this principle of karma. We do not understand this principle of reincarnation. This life is not all in all. So everybody has to reap the result of their good or bad actions. Okay, and then the final is, in the 7-session series, the final topic is the practical applications. So you have heard all these topics. Now what is the practical application? Okay, so the practical application, follow ABCD of spiritual life. A is association of devotees. B is books. C is chanting of the holy name. D is diet. Diet is not that you stop eating. Diet is eat Krishna Prasad. Okay, so that is diet. So eat Krishna Prasad. So follow this ABCD. Association of devotees. Association of devotees is very, very, very important. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it says, Bhakti Janma Mool Hoy Sadhu Sang. From where bhakti take birth? By Sadhu Sangha. Bhakti Janma Mool Hoy Sadhu Sangha. Krishna Prema Paye Tabhi Mukhya Ang. And even if somebody attains love of God, he becomes a pure devotee, still association of devotee remains the primary. Okay, it's not that association of devotee is needed in the beginning only. Association of devotee is needed throughout, till end, till you attain prema. So association of devotees is very important. So B is books. Not reading filmi gyan and Mayapuri and this that. B books means reading spiritual books. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. And discussing with devotees. Okay, I am reading this or I am hearing this. What are you hearing? So devotees talk to each other, read together as a reading club. C is chanting of the holy name. Developing our taste for chanting. And D, of course, whatever we cook, offer it to Krishna and then take that as prasad. Make your home into a temple. Make a temple in your home. Keep a photo of the Lord or the deities of the Lord. Offer arati and offer all the bhoga to the Lord. So make your home into a temple. So these are the basic practical applications to practice. So these are the topics we cover in 7-session series. This time we did Bhagavad Gita 18 chapters, chapter by chapter. So we'll end it here. So with the mercy of the Lord and with the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, we are able to go through chapter by chapter, completing the whole Bhagavad Gita. Now at least we cannot say that I have been in bhakti process for 3 years, 5 years, I have not read Bhagavad Gita. Okay, because we have completed Bhagavad Gita. So even if you did not read yourself verse by verse, but at least now you know the nutshell, the whole Bhagavad Gita, all chapter, what is there in which chapter, what is the overall topics are there in Bhagavad Gita. So at least we know that now, right? So it doesn't end here. Now one should read verse by verse also, going through front cover to back cover, cover to cover. So read Bhagavad Gita cover to cover. Okay, so we'll stop it here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Any questions? Any comments? Hare Krishna, Vidhanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I have a couple of questions. So the first one is, you were kind of saying that we have to not transition from our duty and like try to imitate take some other responsibility, like trying to be a Brahmana or something. But like Prabhupada says, in this age we are all Sudras, but we are trying to become Brahmanas. So
Yes.
I was a little confused.
So one has to do one's duty. So before we take that role, we have to develop those qualities also. So it's not that one gives up one's previous responsibility and start doing other activities. Even though we take the Brahminical Diksha, it's not that we are giving up our other responsibilities and other activities.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
We are still doing those activities, but we are taking the task of Brahmana to serve the Lord.
Okay. Got it. Also, like you were telling that we would kind of get a body based on our desires in the present life. So, how does like animals get their next body? I mean, like, do they decide to? Do they have higher consciousness like
So
us?
for animals, somebody who is in the animal form, what is that? They are exhausting their previous karma. So in the body of an animal, they are not building new karma, they are just exhausting their previous karma, and there is a gradual progression. So after going through all these different species of life, they will get back to the human form of life. They will get their human life. In the human life, if somebody is misutilizing the human life, they will again go down to the lower species of life, and again they have to go through the cycle of evolution to come back to the human life.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so in human life, we have a choice. If we act like animals, again one will become animal. But if somebody is behaving responsibly, doing the duties as a human being, they will continue as human being. So it's a combination of multiple factors what decides the next life. Okay, it is our desire, it is based on our karma, what we deserve, and based on the particular conception of life which one develops. So as a combination, one gets the next life.
Okay, so it's kind of like human life is either go up or down, something like that.
Yes. Human can again become as a human. Human can go and become a devata also. Or he can go down and become an animal also.
Okay, I see. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, Bala Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks for the wonderful class and the series. Prabhuji, my question is twofold. The first thing is, I think you clarified, I want you to confirm it. Prahlad Maharaj says, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, all those things. But we do a lot of activities, some of which don't fit into that in my brain, that we are asked to do, or some people can do, and one of them is preaching. I've always wondered, what is preaching? Where does it fall in those Dasyam, Sakyam and everything? And today I think you confirmed that when you preach, you are really Sakyam of Krishna.
Yes.
Is that correct, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Awesome, wonderful. So the other thing you also talked about is, I think you referenced this and said you have to do all of them. But if one has a ruchi for one or two of them, there are also, you have also mentioned before that one particular Maharaj, or one, like Hanumanji has done one thing and they have achieved perfection.
Yes.
So can you speak to that, Prabhu?
Yeah, you should have heard yesterday's Bhagavatam class. It was all covered in yesterday's class, and somehow, unfortunately, there is no recording of that class.
Oh my God! Yeah, because I never miss a single one of your Bhakti Vriksha sessions. But Bhagavatam is a rotating thing, unless sometimes you highlight it and sometimes you miss it.
Right.
And you're saying there was not even a recording.
Generally, every morning Bhagavatam class there is a recording, but yesterday was exception. So somehow yesterday there was no recording. So in that I covered. So all the 9 limbs of bhakti, the Navada bhakti, even by following one particular limb, one has attained perfection. And there are examples which comes in, I believe, Padma Puran No, not in Padma Puran. I think there is a Padyavali verse which talk about that Parikshit Maharaj attained perfection by Shravanam, Shukdev Goswami by Kirtanam, Prahlad Maharaj by Smaranam, Lakshmi Devi is by Padasevanam, Archanam is Prithu Maharaj, Vandanam is Akarura ji, Hanuman ji is Dasyam, Arjuna Sakhyam, Bali Maharaj as Atmanivedanam. Okay? So yes, by following one particular limb of bhakti, one has attained perfection. But in Kali Yuga, it does not work. In Kali Yuga, we need to follow all the 9 limbs. Okay? That's why our acharyas have given different activities in our spiritual life to give us basically engage in all 9. And even if somebody has particular taste for one particular limb, so yes, they can do more of that, but still they need to do others also. Okay, so for example, somebody has more taste for hearing, Shravanam. So yes, they can hear more, but still, it's not that they will say, oh, I am just hearing, I will not do any service, I will not do this or that. We still should do other things also. Hearing could be our main. Okay, we could spend more time in hearing, but you cannot say, I will not do chanting, I will do only hearing. Okay? Especially in Kali Yuga, even if somebody is interested in one particular limb, they have to add the limb of Kirtanam, chanting.
Yes.
Okay?
That is mandatory. 16
Yes.
hours mandatory.
That is mandatory. So without Kirtanam, without chanting in Kali Yuga, one cannot get the result. Okay? That's why there is a shloka, right? Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Eva Kevalam. Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyatha. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way than the chanting of the holy name. So we have to add the element of Kirtanam, chanting of the holy name in our practice. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhu. I call it the price of admission. Do 16 rounds, then come join.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Ridhanya Mata, you have more question?
I just have one more question, Prabhuji. But you were telling that if we surrender, Krishna will like kind of remove all our, will not let us suffer the reactions of our sins. But the level of our surrender is different for different people. So how does it really work?
So level of surrender is different. To that level, Krishna destroys our sin also.
I see, okay.
So if somebody is 100% surrendered, Krishna will 100% remove their sin. If somebody is 50% surrendered, Krishna will remove 50% sin.
50%.
Yeah,
So
I just
that's
wanted
why-
to verify that.
Right? That's why we see devotees, right? We think I have become a devotee, but still I am having problems in life. Why? Because we have not become 100% surrendered devotee.
Okay, I see. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Anything?
It's not a question, Prabhu. It's
Yes.
like I got 2 answers today. First, like I was in India before a month back or that. So one of my childhood friends said that कहा भगवान ने बोला है कि मेरी पूजा करो,
हाँ.
like
So पता चल गया अभी?
हाँ.
Now call him or message him.
and he also said like, I mean, he's more like we should help to poor and you know all those things. He thinks that this is better than what you are doing, like पूजा अर्चना करना या फिर ये करना वो करना, उससे भगवान नहीं मिलता है. सुपर पावर है, कोई तो है ऊपर, बट मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि उसने नहीं बोला है कि यू हैव टू लाइक उनकी कुछ ये करो, आरती करो, ये करो, उससे अच्छा समाज कार्य से ये करो, इस तरह का. तो
Send him 934 and 1865, where Krishna directly says, "Become my devotee, worship me, pay obeisances unto me." But Krishna is not saying don't do other things, right? Krishna is saying first you do this duty, then you do everything else also, and you will do those better. So when you follow this dharma, which is our Sanatan dharma, to serve Krishna, when we follow that, then you will be able to do other things also better. So Krishna is not stopping you to serve others. Okay, help the poor, help the needy.
That's another misconception. Like people think that अगर आप भक्ति में लग जाते हो तो आप भक्ति कुछ नहीं कर सकते हो. आप अपना सांसारिक लाइफ ठीक से नहीं कर पाते हो. आप अपना जॉब ठीक से नहीं कर पाते हो.
Show them example of so many devotees.
Yeah.
I think you have a class also, Manav Seva or Madhav Seva. Yeah. So
That comes in Vishopanishad.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah. So there is a whole lecture on that topic, Manav Seva or Madhav Seva. So that's why more we hear, our understanding becomes clear, then we are able to answer others' questions also. Right? Otherwise, we ourselves have so many doubts, and if somebody asks us question, we also get filled with doubts because we do not have the clarity.
इसलिए I was not able to answer him. I know that whatever इसका है कुछ तो, but I was not clear.
उसमें भी problem क्या होता है फिर? When they ask us question and we are not able to answer, they say, this guy is doing something, he doesn't have conviction.
Yeah.
You don't know what
Right?
he's doing.
So they get more doubt on you, on your practice.
Right.
So it's okay to not answer, or we can tell them, I do not have the answer, I am still learning, and I can lead you to somebody who can give the answer.
Yeah.
So we should at least leave it with that comment.
Exactly. I did the same thing.
Hmm.
I said that I will come back to you. I know there is answer. I will
Right.
come back to you. So,
Yeah. So we should say, I will find out the answer and I can connect you with somebody who can give you the answers. That I am still learning. Right? So if we just leave them without telling anything, they are going to become more conviction about their philosophy, about their thoughts.
So Prabhuji, there is one more thing that if we tell that Krishna is telling this in Bhagavad Gita, so they come up with the another concoction that अरे कौन सा भगवान कहता है अपने बारे में ऐसा करो, मेरी पूजा करो, like that as well. अब मुझे पूजने के लिए कौन कहता है? थोड़ी कोई भगवान कहता है ऐसे like that.
Tell them Krishna is not telling because Arjuna asked, that's why Krishna is answering. If you go to somebody's home and ask him, whose house is this? What is that person going to say? अरे नहीं मेरा घर नहीं है, I'm a very humble person. This is not my home. Because you asked who is the owner of this house, so this person is telling I am the owner of this house. What is wrong with that? Right? If you go to a factory owner and ask him whose factory is this, who's the owner of this factory, isn't that guy going to say I am the owner of this factory? So Krishna is being asked by Arjuna and Krishna is answering. Arjuna is asking Krishna and Krishna is telling Aham sarvasya prabhavo, I am the controller, I am the owner of everything. Because Krishna is just honestly telling. It's not that Krishna is some egoistic god or he is puffed up with something and he is telling, oh I am the god, worship me, do everything. Ultimately Krishna is telling for our benefit only. He is just revealing the truth.
and he says that Narada, Sita, Vyasa, they are also speaking the same.
Yeah, so Arjuna is confirming that not Krishna himself is saying, he has heard from other sources also. They are also telling the same thing. Okay, we end it here. Okay, thank you very much everyone. Thank you for joining. Okay, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.